Hey guys, it's really good to be back on this channel and let's dive into today's topic. Have you ever traveled solo to a destination? Quite frankly, I can't even believe that I'm filming a video on this topic because a couple of years ago, I could have not even imagined my life to be a life of a world traveler, specifically talking about solo travel on my own, which is insane. I can't believe it. Honestly, in the last couple of years, somehow I gained confidence to travel alone. And truth be told, it's not easy. But once you get there and you start traveling on your own, after that gets really hard traveling with a lot of people. You become a little bit selfish with your own energy and time and the way you handle and do things. That when there's a bigger group of people, you're like, I don't know. I mean, I just like to do things my own way. So that's why today's topic is a really interesting one because I'm going to tell you guys how solo travel has actually transformed my life in a lot of ways. So I was always into traveling, loved the idea of visiting new places, seeing new cultures, exploration, adventure, beauty, aesthetics, all of that. But I was never into traveling alone. And I always thought it was kind of intimidating, embarrassing if you have to say, when you go to a restaurant and you're alone and they're like, how many people? And you're like, one. And they're like, they look at you and they feel sorry for you. But this is not the case. I feel like once you start traveling alone, the whole perspective and your mindset really changes. And I have to say, traveling alone is the most transformative life experience that I have gone through. Let's start with confidence. Once you start traveling alone and you take that step into organizing, doing trip, booking, going, and actually executing, not only planning and organizing, but actually going into the execution phase where you go on this trip solo, fully alone. There's no one backing you. There's no one who has your itinerary. No one who can be there in case something goes wrong. So you're really on your own. And depending where you go to, like if you go to Asia or Europe or South America and to some dangerous cities and countries, I mean, it can be quite scary. But you always have to be smart when you're planning this trip. So you want to make sure that you're going to safe places, especially if you're female, if you're a woman. There are some places where you don't want to go alone. You want to go in a group, at least 2, 3 people, or with a tour guide, but you don't really want to go alone. But going back to my story, confidence. Once you start executing these solo trips alone, it really boosts your confidence. Wow. Once you're able to do that and you're fine traveling alone, organizing, doing, executing, you become so much more at peace with yourself because you really start appreciating your own space and your own time and your own energy and presence. You find it difficult to accommodate to other people and to adjust when you're in a group or planning something with a group of people because you're like, I'm like so capable of doing this on my own. I don't think other people can understand. So you really realize you don't need that validation from others to travel alone or to do anything, make decisions. You realize you're your own validation and your reassurance, and you are your own rock, and you've got this. And if you've got this, then no one can stand up to you. No one can stand up to you. And you're like this amazing go getter person that can achieve anything they want. Once you reach that, then you become comfortable with the uncomfortable. You can really embrace anything you want in life. After confidence comes embracing the joy of your own presence. Like you start loving yourself and your own space and your own time with yourself because you get to think, you get to come up with ideas, you get to make plans, organize your head and thoughts, and structure your life really when you're alone. And that really brings you to this era of embracing and loving yourself and becoming so much more comfortable with yourself that you don't have anything to escape from. And then, like I said, you don't need validation from others because you have your own validation. You are enough. The only thing that matters. Honestly, when you're traveling alone, sometimes you do need someone to share experiences with, to be like, hey, I saw this funny little monkey on the tree, and then you just want to share it with somebody. It gets hard when you're traveling alone, and I do miss that aspect of having someone to just say, hey, that was so funny, I'm so glad we did this, I love seeing that, or whatever. But you can always journal and you can always text somebody, or you can text yourself and tell yourself in a message, be like, I'm so glad we did this together, it was amazing, and you are fabulous, you are amazing, I'm so proud of you. Once you reach that, it's really liberating just to be able to walk down the streets of Tokyo alone and wander around the aisles, or sit in Paris and have a cafe alone, or just go have the most fabulous dinner in Bangkok, or just go visit monuments in India. I mean, it can be quite liberating and empowering to be able to do that on your own with your own self and be like, wow, I can't believe I've done that. Find peace and joy and quiet in these moments that can really be soothing and calming for your soul. It also gives you enough time, space, and energy for your personal self growth and development and reflection on your own actions and your own mental state of being. And that's when we start working on our mindfulness and our mindfulness practices and wellness practices. And once you have time and you do focus on your own thoughts, kind of like meditation, when there's silence and there's no external noise and there's no external thoughts, there's just your own thoughts, you really start analyzing yourself and your actions and what you've been up to in life. And then you really come up to great conclusions. And then that's where the self growth comes in. And that's when you start really developing yourself. Then solo traveling has really expanded my comfort zone. I don't believe in concept of comfort zone anymore. There's no such thing as comfort zone. And honestly, I think that life begins out of comfort zone. Now I know every time I step out of my comfort zone, good things will happen, regardless of travel, work, life, love life, personal life, anything. As soon as I step out of my comfort zone, I know good things will happen. And that's one thing I've learned while I was traveling solo. I was like, best things happen in your life when you step out of your comfort zone. And this is a huge comfort zone. Like, you're so used to, especially if you travel with, let's say, your boyfriend or your husband or family members, if you are that type of person who does not plan trips and is always relying on others, and now you have to do it on your own terms, that is a huge step out of your comfort zone. And that's really, really, really going to help you expand your horizons. Not only when you step out of your comfort zone and you start traveling and exploring, you're really like, I think I want to try some other things too. And then you're like, I want to try skydiving. I want to do bungee jumping. I want to go hiking in Africa. Or there's so many other things that come to your mind because now your brain just wants to be challenged and you want to be challenged because you know that's where the growth comes from. I'm not saying it's the best thing ever. Of course, you always have to be extra careful anything you're doing and where you're doing it because there's a lot of people that want to take advantage of other people. So you gotta be extra, extra careful always, no matter where you are. Then you really get to connect with people of the countries you're traveling to or places you're traveling to because now you have all this extra time that you can dedicate your energy to embracing these new cultures and meeting new people. So let's say you go sit alone at a bar, you meet locals, but you go to like these cute neighborhood restaurants where you get to meet like amazing, adorable locals and you get to talk to them. And of course, never, ever, ever tell them you're there alone. Like, that's rule number one. And I think I should come up with like these rules of traveling solo, but that's my rule number one. You are always traveling with a group of people. Your friends are getting ready, they're coming soon. Your brother is in his room, whatever, whatever. There's always somebody with you because you never want to tell people you're traveling alone unless you really, really trust them. But don't trust anyone, especially people if you just met. Definitely great time to make connections with others. If you're solo, you can meet potential partners. If you just need company for friendship while you're there, you can always find that to go out, you local people to show you around. There's like so much you can do with all your free time because you don't have anyone else with you. You're just there alone. So just enjoy it. And then who knows, you might meet the most amazing people who will become your lifelong friends and people that might help you if something comes up. And you really, really never know because the connections we make while traveling are always amazing and always something great comes out of it. I am 100% sure. Because essentially, that's when you realize that you're never alone. If you need company, you can always find company, always, no matter where you are. But the best part is that if you want to be alone, you're alone too. You can just go back, retrieve to your room, and just enjoy and chill for the rest of the day. And then just gaining new perspective because I feel like that's the point of traveling is gaining new perspective, learning, expanding your horizons, embracing new things, growth, development, all of that. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. That's what I love about traveling. I feel so inspired after every trip. And I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times when I go to a new place, I'm like, I can just live here. I don't know. I don't know what you think about that, but it really helps you understand yourself and understand the world around you and get a new perspective because every time you meet someone new or you go to a new place, you're transformed in a lot of ways. You're transformed. Your mindset is different. Your personality is different. You are so different because you have grown and you have changed and transformed. You get to really detach from other people's opinions, be free and be liberated, and observe and reflect and embrace everything you're seeing like a sponge. It really does make you appreciate the world around you and see it through a different lens. The beautiful, I would say, my world I see through a pink lens. I don't know how you see world, but that's how I see it. And it can be just anything from enjoying local cuisines, tour guides and tours, to visiting new areas and landmarks, or just roaming around streets and sightseeing, anything so valuable for you, and it can be profoundly transformative. So all in all, I can say that solo travel has really transformed me in so many ways that I cannot explain. I got confidence, independence, liberty, and so much deeper appreciation for my own company. I stepped out of my comfort zone and learned that that's where the growth comes from, and embraced the living on the edge lifestyle, of course, with precaution. I connected with the most amazing people around the world. I opened my eyes, I broadened my horizons, and I gained so much new perspective about everything. I learned that I am enough, and that I am amazing and fabulous, and that I'm so much more capable than what I thought I was. If you are hesitant or worried about traveling alone, don't be. Take small steps. Go to a local city first. Do a little vacation in a small city somewhere close by where you feel safe. Of course, always go if you feel safe. Give it a shot. See how it works 2 3 days, and then if you're fine there, then just do a 5 day trip somewhere and see how it goes. And take it baby steps at a time. Take it small steps, or eventually just take the plunge and enjoy it, embrace it, and you'll see, I assure you, you're gonna have the most amazing time. It might be challenging, but it will be damn worth it. Trust me. Not only you will come back with unforgettable memories, but you will come back with a way stronger sense for yourself and for everyone else around you. Until I see you guys again, stay safe, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.